Mastering Digital Transformation in the Age of Engagement. James Payne, MDM Sales Specialist, Informatica.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Payne. I have the pleasure today to talk to you about mastering digital transformation in the age of engagement. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. I'm going to talk a little bit later on as well about some of the developments we've made within our master data management products and how we're making it a lot easier to engage in a master data management project. So we hear and read many articles about the fact data is taking over our world. How much data there is and how fast it is growing. These are all true, but what is less spoken about is that we are in an age where the very purpose of our data is, and the technologies behind it that deliver it are changing. We used to predominantly think about data as transactional. We would keep a record of it in our systems. For instance, when you purchase an item from a shop, it's recorded in the sales system. And then the data is used after the event to do some analysis and create reports. All in an effort to improve productivity across various parts of our business. While that's still important, the new age is about engagement and delivering better experiences to our customers, to our patients, to our citizens, depending on which industry you're in. Data is no longer a passive record. Think about Amazon shopping, for example. You go on there and you're expecting a rich experience with reviews, you're interacting with your peers and other customers. And that ultimately shapes your experience with that organization. So at Informatica, we're currently seeing a number of observations or trends across all industries. These drivers all influence the building of a data-ready enterprise. So let's take a quick look at these. Social influence. We're not only a source of content for our customers, but is actually a primary go-to position now for a lot of people. We see things, as I mentioned before, such as reviews, customer sentiment, heavily influencing buying behavior. Relevance. So we're being overloaded with data, and it's very difficult to sift through all that data and as customers, but not only as customers, as business users, we're struggling to find out exactly what is actually relevant to us. Real time. So we, as customers, we want it now. We want that information available. If a new product's out, we want to be able to hear and read about it straight away on your website, multiple channels. Customers want the information, they want it now. And then not only are we expecting the information to be in real time, we're also expecting now our systems to start recommending certain decisions that we may make on that data. So we not only want that relevant information, we want it to be able to make those recommendations for us. And then location of that data is changing. So Gartner estimated or stated that 90% of business critical information is actually sitting outside of your organization at this time. And that's a lot of kind of social data that you can make decisions on and various other sources. And finally, enterprises are needing to govern that data. As Alistair mentioned before, you need to be able to manage the data through a series of processes. You need to have ownership. You need to get the right information to the right people at the right time. But how do we actually execute this? It's not as simple as it sounds. And what needs to be done to achieve a compelling customer and business user experience? Why is it so difficult to achieve this success? Well, that's easy to see why when we look at how digital transformation and changes to our enterprise and our IT have occurred historically. For the most part, our focus was introducing new applications with new functionality, and we created a number of connection points using various tools, custom coding, and it created that very familiar hairball that I'm sure you all have experienced in your day-to-day lives. And even when the cloud became popular and software as a service style applications became viable, we continued with our approach of even more tools to integrate it, more hand coding, more experts, and the problem just exacerbated. And if we consider the trends on our previous slide, our landscape is going to explode with more and more data. I think data growths, I saw a recent statistic, are expected to be, I can't remember the number, but it was about 200 trillion in the next 10 years. So we're just collecting more and more data, and it's just making this problem more and more difficult for us. And the same challenges always come up. How do I ensure great data quality? Who owns my data? Where do I go to find that data? How do I get a single view of my customer or my assets or whatever particular data domain you're looking at? And so we have to really rethink our approach. And we can achieve this by shifting our mentality from an app-centric view to a data-centric view, by putting data at the center of our thinking. So if we're going to become a data-ready enterprise that can use data to fuel initiatives, we need a different approach across all of this, not just for connecting Salesforce to SAP or individual integrations. We need a systematic approach to deliver great data. That data is clean, safe, and connected. We need to move beyond project-by-project basis, different technology for every type of connection. We need to reuse skills and methods and tools. Second, we need to go beyond IT versus business, or shadow IT. There's a lot of conflict that we see with our customers between that. How do we all get into the data game? How do we all get everyone involved in the enterprise actually involved? We need to foster an environment of co-development, collaboration, and self-service. And of course, it needs to take into consideration that users are, like me, not ETL experts and don't know how to use necessarily all the tools. Our data platform needs to coach and guide users to safely prepare or find their data. Lastly, we need a data platform that allows us to connect a new app or technology seamlessly into the mix. Again, how do we reuse our skills, existing rules, and point them to a new source or new technology that you've introduced into your environment? How many times do we see or hear of projects not reaching their potential, not providing the expected business value, running way beyond initial budgets? It can't just be an isolated project in the corner. It has to become a fabric of your organization. So in the new world, data becomes the most critical asset that your organization has. But as I've mentioned, the key to successful digital transformation is with the inclusion of business and development of processes that involve all the relevant parties within your organization. And this has developed our thinking as an MDM team and business unit, and the direction of our software and how we've changed it recently to make that easier for you to do. The new age of democratic governance, I'll build this one out. The new age of democratic governance requires business process integrity. It requires workflow management and quality assurance right at the heart of it. Only the introduction of these processes can really give you that true business value and turn your information into value. And our customers have been looking at us to actually facilitate this new way of thinking and help master their digital transformation efforts. Informatica as thought leaders have developed and aligned with our customers' needs to help accelerate and achieve these goals. So understanding your specific use cases in your industry and providing tools and functions and capabilities within our products for various roles such as governance, data stewards, and business users, as you've seen with some of Alistair's points he made. And with this thinking and the strength of our truly multi-domain MDM products, the direction we've taken is the following. Sorry, that one. We've built accelerators, which are essentially solutions that have pre-built data models, and they serve a particular use case or purpose in a specific industry, and that's really helped accelerate some of our customers. These are all available on the Informatica marketplace, and I help that they're delivered through our partners, through Informatica Professional Services. And then in addition to that, we've built master data management specific data-fueled apps. And these are kind of an integrated package of a number of our solutions. I'm finding a lot with customers that I'm working with that then don't just have a requirement for MDM. It also needs to include DQ, DI, and even ILM. And then we've introduced more data as a service offerings. So that's the DAS bit at the top. And that provides continued validation, enrichment of that data, so you can add things such as validation of email addresses, and also things such as industry data feeds such as Moody's or Dun & Bradstreet numbers, just to enhance that data that you do have. So our experience as well tells us that starting small and growing is the best approach to a master data management project. It's really about finding something of very high business value to start off, and then you can grow into other domains. That gets you the business backing behind it, and it really kind of elevates the value of data within the organization. So by identifying these high value use cases, you can really help drive and accelerate the project again. So yeah, an example of this is a large bank I've actually been working with for a number of years. They first started off as looking at legal entities. So they needed to master due to regulation under the legal entity identifier, and that got a lot of attention in the business. It was a very successful project that we delivered with them, and as a result it actually fed new ways to master data. They moved into the customer domain at a later stage, and both have been very successful, and are now looking, quite a mature organisation, now looking to expand that out to various other domains. So Informatica have built our offerings to actually help facilitate this for you. So I talked about those master data management fueled apps, but it's about realizing that rapid value to your business. The MDM apps we've introduced facilitate this by providing more out-of-the-box functionality, whilst still maintaining the mantra of putting data first. So when your organization is ready, you can add the other apps as and when the value is seen. They're built on the same industry-leading Informatica MDM technology, and you therefore have the reusability of the skills, the mappings that we continue to kind of harp on about. And the ability to, of course, adapt to new technologies coming into your enterprise, new data sources and new market demands. So it's not only these MDM-fueled apps that are very specific, they're designed to help you accelerate for those specific use cases. We see data domains of all different types, so it's really about finding something that is of high value to you. Here are a few examples, but these are by no means this is not an exhaustive list. Informatica MDM is truly a multi-domain product, and I'm going to take you through some of these. You can, of course, talk to me about it after this if you need to, about any other of the domains. But we're going to look at 3 of those. So firstly, we'll look at customer. So customers today expect a seamless, integrated and consistent customer view and experience, and most companies can't really meet these expectations today. The enterprise often contains inaccurate information, disconnected systems and silos of data that make it very difficult to have a consistent view and to the customer. This can be further complicated when you have multiple products and services that span across different business units. So take a telco company, for example. You as a customer want to have a complete consistency when you're contacting, for example, their call center. I know from experience, having multiple products with them, that when I phoned up, I've had to be put through to multiple business units to just change one thing about all of my different services that I have with them. What's the expectation as consumers and customers today is that when we phone up, they know exactly who we are, they have all the information available to be able to make the right decisions and really understand who I am and what relationship I have with that organisation. So businesses need to figure out how to deliver these seamless, integrated and consistent customer experiences pretty darn quickly, so that they're not left behind. There are organisations, I'm sure you're aware, that are doing this already, and to really put yourself and set yourself apart from those, it's important to get this customer experience correct. And so we empower companies to transform from that siloed and fragmented channel-centric business to a customer-ready enterprise. We help piece together disparate information about customers and provide a total customer relationship view. This not only helps deliver much better customer experience, can improve your brand image, but also has a knock-on effect to many other areas of your organisation. Drives revenue and customer loyalty, boosts sales and marketing effectiveness. And by understanding as much as you possibly can about your customer and having a complete view, you can target specific areas or products to that person. It also allows you to make better business decisions. So by having a complete understanding of the customer journey and their interactions with you, you can actually start to understand where the most successful part of a marketing campaign was. So if, for example, they were sent a letter as well as then going onto the website, and there's a log of when they purchased, and it relates to the time that they were accessing the internet, you can start understanding which bits are being most effective. So this slide looks at that maybe in a bit more detail. To achieve their goals, the customer-facing teams, so your call centres, your sales guys, they need a better understanding of their unique customers, a view into a total customer relationship across brands, properties, regions, functions, you name it. These teams need the ability to quickly and easily answer these questions. So are you an existing customer or prospect? Which channels or services do you prefer? What's the next best offer? What are the products and services would they be interested in? And what's going to make the offer attractive to you? And then also, what's your current status? Have you recently had a complaint that you've put through to their customer service team? And should they then therefore make a decision based on that? If the data in these operational and analytical systems isn't clean, consistent and connected, how are the people getting the information they need to answer these questions when they're actually speaking with the customers? So next I wanted to, feel free to come and speak to me afterwards if you want to understand a little bit more about the customer domain. But next I wanted to move on to the supplier domain and our total supplier relationship application. Again, it's an MDM fueled app, but I'll just go into it now. So organisations with a large number of suppliers face the difficulty of continual product updates that take too long to incorporate into their systems and processes. They also face challenges of multiple touch points and engagements with the supplier, and therefore are not necessarily getting the best value when they're actually doing business with that supplier. Just finish building this out. Oh, sorry. So Informatica Total Supplier Relationship provides a complete view of suppliers and their products to the business. This MDM-fueled app contains supplier and product master data, so it's multi-domain using two of the domains. It also includes data quality, includes data integration, certain data as a service offerings, holistic data governance within the tools that, again, Alistair mentioned, so the business glossaries, your metadata managers, and just end-to-end integration, and that's all in the one single solution that we are now offering to the market. It contains a supplier portal, so the supplier has the ability to self-register, and the importance of that is that you can instill some governance, enforce them to actually input certain fields and really understand the details of who they are. And it helps maintain that governance. On the buyer side, the buyer teams can verify supplier information and documents and qualify suppliers for onboarding. They can also reject or offboard a supplier in case of non-compliance. There may be certain regulations that you require them to adhere to, and if they don't necessarily have that certification, then you can obviously understand that very quickly. Our customers also benefit from a supplier 360-degree view to manage supplier-related information. They have access to clean and validated contact data. They can leverage Informatica's data as a service to add, as I mentioned previously, certain information such as Dun and Bradstreet numbers. Suppliers on their end can update their company information. They can update any product information that they may have. So if you're being supplied raw materials and there's a change on their side, they can automatically update this total supplier relationship application on a self-service basis. The business is also able to understand the total relationship with their suppliers. So if they have multiple touch points across geographies with one single supplier who may have different names, you can relate those together and start to understand how much you're maybe actually spending with this particular supplier, and therefore reduce your costs and try and negotiate better deals. And yeah, within the same supplier portal, vendors can upload new product catalogs, leveraging the Informatica Product 360 view. And it also helps manage your risk and your compliance. So depending on specific needs of the buyers, and you can create alerts or be informed about updates that they make to that. And in terms of risk, you can start to understand whether certain of your suppliers are not, as I said before, adhering to certain regulations, and you can really understand where that helps reduce it for an organisation. Buyers can also use dashboards to analyse its supplier's performance and to monitor them based on locations, products supplied, delivery time, etc., etc. They can track the time it took to onboard the supplier, and buyers cannot only manage suppliers and their information and documents in one central location. They can also fuel other applications with that data by connecting it as a multi-domain MDM implementation. Moving on. So the business benefits are clear. They improve their supplier relationships and performance management. There's a much faster time to market. They reduce their supplier onboarding from weeks to days, which helps them to speed up time to market. They'll be able to reduce their costs by negotiating payment terms or whatever it may be. And they can easier access compliance and risk performance. and yeah, that all comes down to drive their top line growth, as they'll be able to select the right suppliers for the right product or project at the time and at the right time. Finally, I wanted to just take a look at Product 360. So we typically see this as an area that retail organisations engage with us, although it's becoming more and more relevant in other organisations. For example, in the UK, we have a large insurance company that has also implemented a product to be able to actually understand the relation between all their different insurance policies. They've grown over time, and a number of different companies pulled all the products together. The competition to gain the business of the customer is becoming increasingly difficult, and expectations from the consumer are high. If we take a look at this product that someone has gone and had a look at on their iPad, you wouldn't find many people who would be happy to actually make the purchase for this one. I don't know if you would buy that, but I definitely wouldn't. I might not buy this one either, to be honest, but it's the rich product data that makes the difference. It needs to be consistent across all channels to achieve that enhanced customer experience. It needs to be seamless and current. New products need to be added and distributed across the channels as quickly as they can. And the expectation is high, as I said before, and the demand is high. By focusing once again on data as the heart of your organisation, Informatica is actually helping our customers deal with situations such as this. So what does Product 360 actually do? In short, it makes sure that the right customers get to the right product and services at the right time. So achieving this in today's data-driven world means you need to manage your product information, as well as the channels, offline, online, customers can choose from. Furthermore, it's about managing those actions and processes centrally in one location and having everyone involved in that. Products 360 is another out-of-the-box master data-fueled app that supports the onboarding of clients. It supports an omni-channel experience for customers, helps you sell products faster, manage product information, get products to market faster, and as I said, it's out of the box and makes it far more easier than our traditional flexible MDM solution. Now that we looked at what it does, how does it work, and who's it for? It's important for us to understand that. The answer is pretty simple. Product 360 becomes a hub for all of the actions pertaining to mastering your product information. Processes, actions, tasks, everything you need to manage your product and data information. Product 360 can all do that self-contained. Here are some examples of what Product 360 can manage. From managing your omni-channel effort to automating processes, enriching your product information, it's through built-in, out-of-the-box, embedded functionality that the Informatica is providing. It not only centralizes your product data, it's the interface and the only interface that any one of your employees needs. So we can see all the kind of different users that can actually interact directly with the product itself. So I just wanted to then summarize the Informatica MDM solutions. I think this slide does it quite nicely. They are the most comprehensive offering in the market at the moment. We have consistently been positioned in the top right-hand corner of Gartner Magic Quadrant, and many of the analysts have put us as thought leaders in actually having the functionality that outdoes our competitors. They're engineered to seamlessly work together. So as I mentioned before, adding those different MDM fueled apps is very easily done. It also links with our other products, so data integration, data quality, etc., etc. They're also flexible. So even if you go with one of those particular domains, you can add any attributes that happen to be specific to your use case. You can start to add and link relationships between different data domains. And they're also future-proofed. So we put a lot of R&D into development of our products, and we are focused on data management, as you know, as a company. And some of our competitors may have less of a focus in that area. And they have a proven low total cost of ownership, and in comparison to other vendors, again, we're able to do more with less by reusing those skills, those processes, those rules that you've built. So, in conclusion, I urge you to put data at the forefront of your enterprise and start treating it like the asset that it can be to your organisation. Informatica are here to help, and we've got many people who are industry experts who can talk to you specifically about your particular use case and how you might go about doing it. If you're needing help selling it to the business, again, that's something that we support. We have business value assessments which can really help drive and get business engagement. So I just wanted to thank you all for your time today. If any questions, you can either ask them now or you can ask me out there. Thank you. Voilà.